What's going on, everyone? Jimmy Like Halo back again, and today I'm talking about actually kind of like two games, which is Pokemon Sapphire, the original, and then kind of comparing it to the new version, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, originally, the first time I ever played a Pokemon game was actually Pokemon Coliseum, and I would make a video on it. I probably will later. I just don't have a way to do that yet, so that'll be coming eventually. But after that game, I always really liked the Generation 3 Pokemon because Coliseum is a Generation 3 game, and there's a lot of Gen 2 and 3 Pokemon. Honestly, more of the Pokemon you catch in that game are Generation 2, so I really like that one as well. But I got a 3DS, and not long after I got Omega Ruby. And I really, really like this game. The Megas, I mean, this was my first mainline Pokemon game I played, and I really, really like it. It's very beginner friendly. Coming back to it is a very easy Pokemon game. Pretty much every Pokemon game is easier. The only ones that aren't are the older ones, and only because they didn't have like quality of life features that just made it more annoying than actually challenging, to be honest with you. Best closest thing we got to that was like Black and White 2, the challenge mode when you trade the keys. But even then, you can't do that unless it's a new game. But anyway, getting off topic. Really, really like the remakes for this. It's basically everything you could want from Ruby and Sapphire, although for like Pokemon Emerald, it's not quite it doesn't quite have all the Emerald stuff because of the Battle Frontier slash Tower replacement in this remake is nowhere near as good as the one in Emerald. But that was kind of a theme with the later ones, the battle like tower stuff. They just kind of like phase it out because it's not even in Scarlet and Violet, which is really weird. But anyway, other than that, these are really good remakes. I'd say this is my favorite of the Pokemon remakes. Like we have Fire Red, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and then Omega Ruby, F Sapphire, and then BDSP, Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl. This one I think is my favorite. I think, in my opinion, is the best. You could totally argue that Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best. Those are very, very good too. Um, I also have played those, but this video is about this one. Now, as you can see, this is a case. Here's a little cartridge, and now I'm going to get into why this game is actually really hard to play nowadays, because for whatever reason, specifically, it wasn't just these 3DS games, but multiple 3DS games, but more commonly these, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire actually don't work on 3DSs nowadays. I don't know why that is. Mine's not like in super beat up condition or anything. If anything, if you look at this Sapphire cartridge, you would think this is the one that doesn't work, but no, it works flawlessly. I don't know if it's just older technology working. I mean, the battery is dead in this one, even though it has it in there. It could be replaced. I just didn't want to tinker with that and do that, even though it's probably not that hard to do. But yeah, so there's a problem with these cartridges not working. I think for me, it's more common on Omega Ruby because I was able to get Sapphire to work on my 3DS, but the only way I can get this cartridge to work is on my other 3DS. It does not work on my black one at all, which I'll show you. I have no idea because it's not like it has a battery in here, and even if it did, it still launches the game just fine. So I don't know what's wrong with like the coding on here, but it just does not work anymore. And I tried to clean out stuff, and it did not make a difference. So let me just show you what exactly I'm talking about. So as you remember from my Luigi's Mansion video, if you saw that on the 3DS, it plays a little splash screen with a little audio thing. As you can see, the icon shows up, this shows up, but when I click start, you're gonna see the 3DS logo, and it's never gonna go away. Normally it would be gone right now and be black. I mean, I'll show you what it looks like when it's supposed to launch, but it just gets stuck in this loop and it never ever plays. And like I said, Nintendo, frick, what were they called? Hang on. Nintendo Life actually had an article and a video about this, I think a few years ago, talking about how these games were not working on the 3DS anymore. And I don't even think they really knew why. I'll probably link the article in the description because this is kind of a big deal. The only way to reliably play these games is on an emulator. Like you literally, I literally own the game. I bought the game. I played the game, and I can't play it. Like this was even before it's 10 years old. It wasn't working. It was like even less old, and it just gets stuck like this and doesn't work. And it's really sad because I love this Pokemon game. I love playing it again and again. So what did I end up doing was taking all my Omega Ruby Pokemon and transferring them over to Pokemon X and Y, because those Pokemon 3DS games actually still reliably work, and they're older. So I really don't know what the issue is. If someone knows, please let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna actually talk about the game in this video. I just had to address this because it's a really big issue. So as you can see, pops up on here on the other 3DS. I'm gonna load this up. And then look, it goes away just fine. Everything is totally fine. This is how it's supposed to launch. The weirder thing is that it works on this 3DS but not the other one. Why is it the case? I have no idea. That's just how it is. You go to the splash screen, it plays the music, it shows up and everything. So I have no idea why it works on this one but not my main one. I have no idea why. But that's besides the point. Even though it works on this one, it will actually randomly crash, even on this. And it doesn't even take that long to do so, so I don't know why that happens. Clearly this cartridge is playable because it loads here. It's not playable on my 3DS, but it is playable on this one, and even though it's playable on this one, it still has issues, so it's really, really weird. I don't know why this happens. But yeah, let me just, as you can see, this is a 3DS Pokemon game. This is what they look like. I really like this chibi style. This is basically my favorite style of Pokemon. It's like 3D, but it's not as like, they're not super tall or anything in these versions. Actually, let me check my party, because there should be like only one singular Pokemon here. That's just really not very good. Yeah, Spoink. So, poor Spoink got left behind, but yeah, basically, see, as you can see right there, a power error has occurred. I literally didn't even do anything other than open my menu and it crashed. So, like I said, don't know why this happens. I'm gonna try my best to show you the game, but we'll see. So while I was loading and fixing that, I actually pulled off the GameStop sticker here after, like, I don't even know how many years of it being there. It's off here too. There you go. So we're gonna launch this again. I'm gonna try to show you the game best of my abilities, but like I said, it's gonna be kind of hard because it might just randomly crash. As you can see, this is why I'm complaining about it, why it's a problem, and it's really strange that this happens. And I would love to know just why. If I just knew why, I'd be like, okay, it's because of this or this, and then I understand. But it's really annoying when you want to play one of your favorite games and it just doesn't work, and you don't even know why. But anyway, let me just try to get as fast as I can to show you how this Pokemon looks and plays. Very similar to newer ones still. The 3DS games pretty much are how Pokemon mostly is nowadays in terms of like the 3D stuff. But as you can see here, just the 3D Wurmple, you see your trainer, you throw out your Pokemon. And if you had a Mega, since this is a Generation 6 game, it shows up on the touchscreen, it would be right here. And you just use whatever move you have. You can also press A and B to do that. Catching mechanics and all that. Realize this is actually the first Pokemon game I've made a video on for some reason. But yeah, as you can see, that's how it looks and plays. The best part about Generation 3 in my opinion is not just like the area and the location, but the music in this game is incredible. And I would play it for you, but I think it might be copyrighted, because one of my older videos had like an intro of it and I think it got copyrighted. So anyway, yeah, that's basically how the 3DS looks. I would show you more of it if I could. Also, another really cool thing about Gen 6, the PSS system is still to this day like the best online feature they've had. It's just right here. They didn't bring it back, and they had it weirdly in Gen 7. You had to go in a weird area to do it, but at least it was there with the GTS. And then in Generation 8 9, they don't even have the GTS in the game, global trade system, so you can offer up a Pokemon and then trade a Pokemon that they want for it. It's really dumb because it's such a great system that they had in these games, and I don't know why it's not in the actual game. The only way to actually do it now is through Pokemon Home's mobile app, which for some reason on my phone doesn't even work. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've tried. I don't know. Anyway, I do love this game, and I love Generation 6 and all of its features it has. But like I said, there's so many annoyances that I'm like, why can't I play this game? I don't know. This is my favorite Pokemon, mainline Pokemon still to this day. that I love to play the most. As you saw in my save file, I have 125 hours on just this save alone. That's not including all the other versions of the game I played, because I've actually rented it from the library to actually be able to play the game. Which is why I said other versions of Omega Ruby I've tested also have this same issue, whereas Alpha Sapphire actually did work. And now to show you what OG Pokemon Sapphire actually looks like. So as you can see, this is the Game Boy Advance SP, the pink special edition. Very cool, very nice looking. It plays a little jingle. And I love the Game Boy. For some reason, this game is aged extremely well, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the 2D art style, just looks really good, but look at this beautiful, beautiful intro. But as you can tell, the original game, or the remake of it, it pulls up the same menu with the same music, just remastered. As you can see, the clock thing doesn't work. Other than that, everything is fine. 2D game, unlike the 3D ones, obviously. And I'm literally in the same location, so it's a very good comparison to show you what it looks like. What do I have in my party right now anyway? So funnily enough, actually on this game, I transferred most of my Pokemon to Coliseum, and then I think I traded them to XD because my Coliseum also has issues loading. I don't know what it is with these Pokemon games, but they always seem to have some weird problems trying to run the games. But that's a GameCube game with a disc, and there's something wrong with like the scratches on the laser, and I don't know, it's an older game. But anyway, cartridges usually are more reliable, so I transferred them to this and then to XD because that disc is mostly fine. But anyway, as you can see, it's a 2D battle. I mean, you've probably seen, or maybe you have, and plenty of like challenge videos. They're always on Gen 3 because most YouTubers really like the way the mechanics are in this game, because this is the last game before they had the physical special split in Pokemon, where there was a special defense, special attack, regular attack. They didn't have that in this game, so some Pokemon were just kind of bad because their attack stat would be really low, but they were a special attacker because they had special type moves. So thankfully in Gen 4 they changed that. But I still really love these games. For me, this is like the core Pokemon game. Like Gen 3 is like the one to go to. Really has most of my favorite Pokemon, my favorite region. I like all the mechanics and stuff. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about this. I truly, really love these Pokemon games, as most people do. Gen 3 is definitely my favorite generation. Both original, remake, the spin-offs like Coliseum and XD. But yeah, let me know if you're 3DS, if you have Omega Ruby or Sapphire, if it has problems loading, any of your thoughts about this whole thing, or what you think of these games. I would love to know. But thanks for watching another video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.